Tell me what happened and what you saw. You saw a very traumatic event. Talk to me about that.
Yes, I was in the library, and the whole room was just filled with smoke, and I heard gunshots all over, and the two guys who were the trenchcoat mafia came into the library and were just shooting everyone that they could, anyone that they can, you know? And so we were all under the tables, and the girl who was sitting right across from me under the table was shot in the head right there. And, I mean, it was the worst feeling that I've ever had because, I mean, blood was just going all over, and I mean, I witnessed that, you know, and it's hard.
Now, how did you manage to get away? Did you hide under a desk or go into a closet or what?
I was still under the table when they were still coming in, and then they just kept on going back and forth between that and, I guess, the cafeteria are all over. So once they left the library, we just kind of ran and were running towards the cop cars, and that's when they transported us down here.
People who may be hiding, rescue people who may be injured and unable to get to safety, as well as, at the same time, trying to confine the gunmen until they can decide either...
All right, we're looking at pictures again. We've been getting coverage from the various affiliates, first KMGH, now KCNC-TV, apparently some sort of armored vehicle. We heard from CNN correspondent Tony Clark a few moments ago that the police authorities there did intend to use SWAT vehicles to move as close as they could to the high school doors.
Can you tell us what you have seen, what you have heard today?
Yes, this morning about 11:30 thereabouts, I took my dog outside and there was a very loud boom. It sounded like a cannon going off, and it came straight from Columbine High School. And so we ran back in the house and turned on the police scanner and heard the first 911 sound come in. I since heard about, I believe, 7 loud, terrifying blasts, and it sounded more like a bomb than it did gunshots at that time.
Did any students start running toward your house or toward your part of the neighborhood?
Not at that time, no. I saw windows burst out and glass fall all over the ground, but there was screaming, that sort of thing, but I didn't see any people come out at that time.
And I'm just checking over my shoulder here to make sure I'm not missing anything. It's because things are constantly happening.
If they are indeed going to make any move inside that high school, and if they are indeed using flash grenades, one of the first things they do is move people away from the scene. Have they moved you back at all?
Yeah, you know what? Sean, I'm sorry. Let's spin around here, and I apologize, but there's a young man, you see there in the black. He has handcuffs on. This is so they're being escorted down Pierce towards Bowles. And we have no idea, no confirmation from police who this may be or what role he may have had in any of this.
All right.
It's just something I happen to see over my shoulder as you were asking the question. And I apologize. I think you asked me, are they moving any of us back? And the answer to that is no, despite the fact we're hearing reports there may be some shots fired inside the school, because quite frankly, they've got us all significantly far back from that huge Columbine High School campus.
We do have some fatalities. The number of those fatalities is unknown right now. The fatalities also, it's unknown whether those fatalities are students, faculty, or a mixture of both.
Is 17 years old. Brian was a student at Columbine High School, freshman?
Yeah, no, junior.
Junior. And he was shot by Eric Harris. You, in your own words, tell me what happened.
I was walking down the hall like I do every day, almost every day, and we were walking towards the doorways at the end of the hall, and there's windows in it, and we were looking out the windows, and there's 2 people outside, and you can see, I saw Eric shooting down a hill and Dylan shooting off into a field.
What'd you think?
I couldn't believe that they were shooting anything at all, because you can't bring any sort of gun to a school in Colorado at all without getting in trouble. I mean, so my curiosity got me, I guess, and so we walked up to the window, and I thought it was a paintball gun at first.
That would be my first thought. Okay, the guy is that kind of guy, and he's playing with a paintball gun.
And so I went through the first doorway and walked up to the second doors and was looking out the window, and I was standing next to it, and then Eric turned and looked at me and saw my hat and shot me through the window.
Why would he shoot you?
I think he just turned and saw my hat because they were looking for any sort of...
What does your hat represent?
It's Nebraska University, and they're pretty big with the athletics.
So this would make you a jock.
Yeah.
Are you a jock?
No, I don't play any sports at the school.
It's just wearing the hat.
Mm-hmm.
So you think he saw the hat and that made him upset or whatever his plan was.
Mm-hmm.
And he shot you. Where did he shoot you?
He shot me in the chest. It hit me right here, and it went through. When it went through the glass, the bullet split into 2 or 3 different pieces, and one piece hit me right here, and it hit my necklace that I was wearing, and then another piece of the bullet hit me over here. So I was pretty lucky.
You retrieved the bullet?
Yeah, I pulled it out of my shirt later on.
You thought they were coming after you?
Yeah, and so we ran back into a storage room in the library.
And hid in the storage room?
Yeah.
What did you hear Dylan and Eric saying? You heard the gunshots, could you hear them talking?
I couldn't hear them talking as much as I heard people yelling, people screaming, and then you hear a gunshot, and then it just stops. And you could hear them shooting out computer screens and windows and anything out there.
But they weren't saying anything.
That I could hear. I heard them when Isaiah, the black boy, I heard him yell, "I hate niggers," and then shot him.
You heard him say, "I hate niggers."
Mm-hmm.
What was the sound of their voice? Were they laughing? Were they serious? Were they angry? Was it a joke? What's your opinion?
Their voice, when they were, that I could hear, was like they liked it. It was a game.
This is fun. I hate niggers, bang, fun, fun, fun.
And you'd hear explosions, and then you'd hear them yell, "Woo!" Like they'd scored a touchdown or something. They were winning.
I think that at 17, it's kind of hard to know the finality of death. But it's an amazing, amazing thing, isn't it? If I asked you, why do you think they did it, do you have an answer?
No, just that they wanted to, well, yeah, I guess so. They wanted to prove something. They wanted to get attention since they were outcasts. And nobody really talked to them outside of their French coat mafia. They wanted to get more attention, and this is their way of doing it, I guess.
Thank you, Brian.